Hey guys, just in case you haven't seen, the Crazy Russians, i.e. one of my favourite YouTube channels, isnt, has come up with what they call a Wi-Fi guns. It's very similar to a couple of existing antennas, however, technically speaking, it is a handful of small round copper discs with a rod through the middle. And this seems to be so much better than everything you can buy off the shelf. It can blast its way not through a living room wall, but 10 or 20 houses, or in their case, 10 or 20 kilometers. So, that seems cool. What I've decided to do is see how badly you can make it, to see if it still works. Because I'm a trained electronics technician, which means I'm also an engineer because I know how these things work. And I put it to the Crazy Russians that they're so far beyond working with mathematics that they don't understand them. And I really love that. So what they've done is calculate the size these discs should be and their distance apart based upon the speed of light and how long the wavelength is. And to verify this, I of course recognized pretty close down the line that the wavelength we're talking about, 2.4 G, is about a couple of millimeters. So I did the math, and what they've actually done works out to be pretty mathematically sound. However, they cut it out with a pair of scissors, and they didn't know where to connect the power lead, so they've just sort of soldered it on. Right. And I really like that too, because these things rarely ever work as the maths say they should. In fact, almost never. In other words, the English textbooks don't go into enough detail to adequately describe the way these things work. And I don't speak Russian, nor can I be bothered reading a 1,000-page manual. So, what I'm going to do is copy them and make it worse, which is great. So, because I don't have any Crazy Russian scissors, I use my Chinese angle grinder, and the result of that is these are almost round. I do at least have all the proper fixings and fittings to put it together, so I'm going to proceed to do that. Plug it into my existing Wi-Fi, see what the difference is, and then I'll be satisfied if I can use any of the two free Wi-Fi places I have around me. One of them is the local government train station, probably 300-400 meters away down that way, and I've got a McDonald's that way. Both have free Wi-Fi. And if I suspect I put it on a mast, i.e. piece of curtain rod, 10 or so meters high in the sky, I would not be at all surprised if that worked. Largely because of the genius of these antennas. This is something I thought would probably not possible, but I like doing the impossible, as you can see right behind me, with my pendulum free energy generator, which is doing a pretty good job powering a water pump right now, but I suspect I'm going to use it to power something even bigger, since our local government in Western Australia is looking to invest money in making our energy infrastructure work more intelligently. And I'm going to show them this. And incidentally, that was by another Crazy Russian, Mr. Milkovic, called the two-stage oscillator. You can also have a look at that online. So, I'm going to finish my coffee, get a little dizzy from the sleep deprivation, and go do some crazy Australian stuff here down under. I'll check back soon, let you know how it went. Alright, what do you think? Looks pretty good, I think. I've made a few modifications to the original design. All the smaller discs are all earthed. Actually, correct that, all the smaller discs are not earthed. They are completely isolated from the central rod. This second last disc here, that is the one that's connected to the wireless card. That's your active. And this final disc is earthed. It's the only one that's earthed to the sensor rod, also earthed to the stand. Now the thinking is that your pickup disc, which is obviously, as I said, completely isolated, will pick up wireless signals refracted between these discs. These will all pick up a 2.4 gig or a 512 or whatever you have it, something in that band, wireless signal, and they'll bounce back and forwards between each other, having no interaction with the ground, and be finally picked up by the reverse disc. And what makes it a gun, technically speaking, is this large disc at the back, which is earthed, i.e. they're really blocking the signal from behind, and that's your directional nature of it, the resonating discs at the front and the blocking disc at the back. It's kind of what you call a Yagi. However, it says gun, and apparently they work great between each other or just picking up extra signals, which is good because I don't have many of those, despite being in the middle of suburbia, about 7 kilometers from Perth City. The best signal I can get is 4 wireless connections, and if I let it sit, wow, I've actually just got a few more pointing in one direction for a long period of time. Then what I got off the internet to have a test of this thing, because I'm not actually a wireless guy, I had to play with it a couple of years ago, and I seem to do that every couple of years, and the technology hasn't really gotten all that much better since then. But for $22 I got myself this antenna, which upon closer inspection is actually completely empty and contains a tiny little antenna down the bottom, which is of not much interest or use. Okay, I've made a few beautiful wireless joints, and by wireless joints I of course mean solder joints. Now, to give you some idea of what's going on here, we have a ruler. We have 3.1 millimeters between each of these connections, and 1.6 there, and 1.3 there. This is a terribly small amount of light. Guess what? I have a torch. That's fantastic. Okay. So, the cord is, see if we can get a bit of light on there. That looks quite good. The second, that blob of solder in the middle of the middle disc is the primary connection. We've got this one here, grounded at the back, going down here. And for the first time, say hello to Mr. Putin. I'm going to plug this thing in and see how it operates. And it's got the antenna pointed roughly off in the same direction. Now, Windows, refresh. Oops, antenna seems to have fallen off. I need some stronger magnets. How about I just knock it around? Okay. Ooh, look at that, it's worse. It's not just worse, it's much worse. How about that? I actually did not expect that to happen. But I tell you what, when you aim low, sometimes you really do get it. Here I was relying on the arbitrariness of arbitrary antenna design, and you know what, it worked. Okay, let's refresh this one, see what it says. Well, there we have it. for reasons not entirely clear, it's actually worse than this little guy. These antennas work okay. Some of them are quite good. This one, however, was not. I've got a tablet, or at least someone in my family has a tablet. It's a $100 tablet, really cheap, a couple of years old, and it can pick up 15 or 20 wireless connections. So, to be getting just one is deeply unimpressive. And to be honest, I really did expect a lot better. So, I might have a think, have a fiddle, and see what I come up with. Maybe there's a solution to this, and maybe I can make it worse. We shall see. Thank you. Okay, in regards to this wireless receiver, I've been humbly looking around for a few solutions, and I haven't found any. So far, what I've come up with